Benjamin's case was ridiculous. He's not a dangerous guy. He didn't hurt anybody. The whole thing started because one of the kids was acting up and yelling. And at some point, the police show up, and all they can find is a kind of disassembled TV remote control on the floor. There was apparently a little hole on the wall, on the drywall in the house. And apparently he caused that too, right? So that was it. So they decided that he was guilty of all these things, that he was doing all these horrible things.
I was being accused of some domestic violence, which was not true. The guy had like this hand on his gun. He was being very psychologically abusing, like intimidating, but he lied to me. That's when I, realized that you cannot trust policemen.
Anybody who's ever talked to a police officer while an officer's working knows what that feels like. I mean, when a cop comes to talk to me, I feel intimidated. And one of the things they can do is lie to you. They're completely entitled to tell you that they have all kinds of stuff against you, even if it's false. And they do have a bias, right? They always assume that you did something. My job is to assume that my client didn't do anything. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. Even his wife back then was a little concerned because she realized that something that was really nothing to be concerned about got blown over, right?
I call around different law firms, but no one inspired like that confident because for starters, I didn't understand all these legal names, right? Legal terminology. When I didn't understand something in English, he would just like help me understanding my native language. So that was one of the reasons why I want to have you to be my lawyer representing this legal issue.
He's from Sonora, where I'm from, so we kind of speak the same language, and I don't mean Spanish, right? We're norteños, right? So we kind of understand each other, and we got the discovery. I spoke to him. Everything was fine. He was very concerned. Benjamin is a hardworking man, never been in trouble before. He had no idea what was going on. He was here to chase the American dream. That's what he was here for. And all of a sudden, an argument with a teenager ended up with him, being arrested and having to face domestic violence charges that could potentially get him deported.
He did a damn good job explaining, what I was facing and, explain the law. And I said, I'll do my best, to get you out of this. So it's like, he did.
My clients are entitled to their time in court, and they're entitled to due process of law. They damn sure entitled to have the state prove what they say they did. In any case, they couldn't prove that Benjamin did anything wrong. They had to dismiss. Then on another occasion, he called me back. He got a DUI charge. He was driving home after work, I believe, and it was dark night, and it was raining, I believe. So he lost control of the vehicle, and he ended up hitting the side of I think it was like a wall on the freeway or something like that. There was no damages or anything, but there was damage to his vehicle. He was walking. He just got out and walked, And then they stopped him as he was walking away. And then they just drilled him. And, he didn't invoke. He didn't do anything. He just talked.
Not knowing again, I think you can handcuff me. You can do this and you can do that.
Because that's the kind of guy he is, right? He's an honest guy. He was completely entitled to say, I don't want to answer any of your questions. May I leave, please? I understood what was going on. I see this all the time. And told him, look, calm down. We'll try to figure it out. We'll see what's there. We need to see the evidence, right? Always. Evidence first, decisions later. The Constitution requires that. And part of the search is they draw your blood, and they have to draw 2 vials. Their forensics department does the test on one, and they have the other one available for defendants to test. I said, okay, well, I believe my client, so let's test it.
His job was to prove how they got to a conclusion in a very wrongful, illegal way, So that's how he approached this.
And it came back negative for everything. No alcohol, no drugs, nothing. So I was so happy. Benjamin is not guilty, man. And, he was comfortable with admitting that, he could have been driving safer. And that's all he accepted. And, he just got a fine, and that was it. And every now and then he's had some issues, stuff I don't do or whatever. He calls me, I kind of refer him out. He became a U.S. citizen now, so I helped him get a specialist on immigration to just get all that straightened out.
Thanks to Javier, my dream of becoming a U.S. citizen has become true. I just want to, again, thank him for his help and, how he's made me feel, and he listens. he understands.
It's about evidence, it's about due process, it's about justice. And I think that we ensure that by ensuring that everybody gets their day in court and that their rights are always respected. And that's my job, to make sure that if they can't prove it, then my client, ends up well.